Hello everybody, welcome back to Invisible UX. Today is part 2 of tips and tricks for completing Springboard's UX program. We'll continue. It was also recorded while I was away in St. Croix, but we have lots more tricks and tips and advice to help you get through the program. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, the next question. Congrats. Really appreciate all the details and perspective of your journey. I'm currently looking at Springboard Career Foundry, and Lee goes on to ask me specifics about different programs, difference between the different programs, etc. In terms of looking at the different programs, it's been so long at this point. I don't know if I can give solid information. So I'd recommend going to, there's several websites that rate these kinds of programs. So check out things like Course Report. If you Google it, similar sites will come up. There's a lot of first-hand reviews. They'll be a lot more recent, and they'll be able to tell you, which programs are better for what you're trying to achieve. One person's program might not be the best program for another person. It just depends if you prefer the in-person environment, virtual environment, self-paced, etc. Okay, Luke asks what my area of focus is within UX. Is it researcher, information architect, visual designer, content strategist, or unicorn? Certainly a goal to become a unicorn at some point. Learning to code and then honing those coding skills has been high on my list for some time. But to be completely honest, my focus has been really on honing the UX product design specific skills. And when I become much more comfortable with those, complementing those skills with coding, a little bit of product management experience, just to be, as well-rounded as possible. So my focus today is really UX, strictly product designer. A pretty large portion of my day involves working with our internal user testing group. I work for Verizon. It's a very large company, so there's a lot of different teams that focus on a lot of different aspects of product design. So I'll collaborate with the customer testing, customer research group, set up studies, establish whether they should be quantitative, qualitative analysis, and work with them to distill insights from that research. I also work very closely with product managers, work very closely with the development teams, the technical teams. My team isn't structured. My team doesn't have specific UI designers, so oftentimes, while my focus is on user experience and testing and divergent, convergent thinking, low fidelity mock-ups, testing, iterations, etc. Oftentimes, visual design will be part of my role as well, which is cool. I enjoy visual design. I'm happy that I get to balance the less pretty aspect of UX, which typically involves lower fidelity, components. But yeah, hopefully that helps. So I think a big difference though is if you work at a larger company, you're more likely going to have a narrower field of responsibility because there'll be more teams because it's a larger company. If you're working at a startup, especially a smaller startup, you're more likely going to be wearing many hats, as they say. So you'll be conducting the user research, you'll be putting together mock-ups, low fidelity, high fidelity. You'll go back to the user testing. You'll be responsible for UI design and making the final screens pixel perfect. G Park says this is very, very helpful. Thanks so much. You're welcome, G. Hopefully you're subscribed and you find the videos useful. 3 hearts from Brian Marcelino. I guess you've liked the videos. Subscribe. Hopefully there's more good stuff you can get out of it. From Binode Rai, Binode's thinking of doing data analytics. They ask how good is the program. Again, just like I mentioned before, there's several websites that review and rate different boot camps based on, selection of characteristics. So check out Course Report. There's a bunch of other websites as well that can help you out. Okay, Fiona Messihand. This is an interesting question that will hopefully help a lot of people. They say the policy, this is with regards to the number of people you have to reach out to and set up meetings with, in addition to attending events and applying for jobs as part of the job guarantee. So they say the policy states the student has to reach out to 7 individuals, and then it also says that meetup and conference also count in outreach. So does Springboard really need you to show proof of connecting with 7 individuals or proof of attending 7 events? Just in general, this may change, in the future. So when I was part of Springboard, their policy was really that it's self-reported. There wasn't much of an auditing that I remember, i.e. I don't remember them checking to make sure that you actually met with someone. I don't think they're reaching out to anybody. It's very much an honor system. Jasmine Clayton says, thank you for your detailed videos. Jasmine, you're welcome. Thank you for watching. JY Sailor Moon says, it's so good to be aware of these things. I'm sure so many people aren't. Thanks for being transparent. There wasn't a lot of reviews when I was researching programs and when I was in the program. So I really just want to help people that are considering a program, but I also want to help people that are transitioning into the field. So I know a lot of these videos are review oriented. They talk about my entrance into the UX profession, but if there's any questions you have about the transition, not just transitioning from architecture, but any sort of field, and what that's like, what it's like to leave a field that you've been in for over 10 years, as I did. There's a lot of emotional challenges with that. In addition just to completing the course, you've invested a lot of time into something that you probably loved at one point and you're thinking about starting over almost. So happy to answer any questions people have about that. That's it for part 2 of tips and tricks for Springboard's UX UI program. I hope you found it useful. There is a part 3 that I will upload in the next week or so. I'm working on editing it right now. So part 3 will be the last of 3 parts. I hope you found it useful, and as always, subscribe if you've enjoyed the content. It's helpful for me to know that it's stuff that's helping you. And as always, leave any comments, especially items that you want to hear about in later videos, in the comment section. Until next time, take care.